Chris Renkel here, now joined with UAB Character Excellence Coach Timothy Alexander.
Yes,
I know today, past couple days have just been really hard on you and the UAB family. Just what has the last couple days been like?
I mean, it's been very up and down. You know, we got word that Greg Bryant had passed, and we had word that he was still fighting for his life. And just as Coach Clark said, you know, he was one of our own. And one of the things is that really touched me was, you know, I was supposed to pick Greg up from the airport this morning, and it's way bigger than that. But I've heard from, we did a lot of conference of prayers for the last 2 days, and Greg was a hero through this nation. Derrick Henry tweeted about it. Chad Ocho tweeted about it. I mean, and when I talked with his coach today and family who was on the prayer call, they said it was kids that said they wanted to be like Greg Bryant. You know what I'm saying? So it was beautiful to see this young man, which, you know, after he left Notre Dame and came to UAB, this guy went from staying in a hotel at a JUCO to Coach Clark gave him a chance. Now this kid has a 3.0 and was going to come back and continue to keep UAB on the map. It was our 5-star running back that brought publicity and everything in UAB. So it's just been very hurt because Greg was somebody's son. He was somebody's family member. He was somebody's brother, cousin. And it's just been a tough time because Greg was excitement. You know, he would come into the locker room, would just be excited. Hey, what's up, Coach TA? You know, just very excited about what's up, Coach. It's Coach, I'm cutting my hair because I'm about to do something great. Just this guy was on beat each and every day. And I never forget how it came time and he had to turn in his last final. He wrote an essay about his mom and about doing great things for his family. Then the next day he had to participate in a theater play and he was in church clothes. He said, I had never been in a shirt and tie and was just dressed up, just so excited, was dancing like James Brown, just kid, just excited. It's just been very tough because we lost the former player Greg Macklin. Now we got Greg Bryant gone, and it's just, you know, we're just asking that everybody keep the coaching staff in their prayers and the Notre Dame family and the UAB family, but just most importantly, his mom. You know, his mom, my heart goes out to the entire family, especially on Mother's Day. So,
What has it been like to be inside the locker room and know all the guys and have all this uncertainty
Right.
where, you know, the news was he was gone and then he was fighting and no one really knew. There was so
Right.
much confusion. No one really knew what was going on.
well, I mean, it's just been very tough for our players. You know, you would see players, you know, tweeting about it and putting it on Instagram and Snapchat and their social medias. Then you would see them take it down. Then you would see them calling out saying, Coach, what's going on? Because everybody, you know, UAB, we don't just say family just to say it. We knew each other in and out. You know, Greg was our family member. Like we would do anything for each other. And it's just been hard for the players because that's their guy. Greg will get in the middle of the circle and dance every morning. So it's been very tough for the guys, man. But it's a great thing to see not only just this nation, but to see the UAB athletes to get on the prayer call, the coaching staff to get on the conference of prayer that we had for his family, and just to see, like, you know, what this young man did in one semester. He made an impact on so many people in one semester. And just as his friend told me today, all Greg was talking about was coming back to Birmingham, doing great things for the city, but doing great things for his family back at home.
Have you talked to the family at all?
Well, I talked to his great friend, Fritz. I talked to him today, and I talked with his high school coach. It was good news to know. Coach Clark said that one of our coaches, Coach Williams, was up at the hospital with him and just loving on his family. So all his family's been doing is just asking for prayer. That's all they've been doing.
What has kind of been the sentiment from all the other teammates?
The thing is from their feeling is of just saying that Conference USA was in for a new era with Greg Bryant, man. And so now we're saying that Greg Bryant, long live Greg Bryant, he's going to live through us. He's going to live through our hearts and our prayers each and every day. And it just shows us that, you know, even if this world counts you out, you can count yourself in and believe in yourself, and you can put yourself and the whole nation on the map. And that's what we're learning from through Greg Bryant. Just he's not gone, he's living through us each and every day.
For you personally, you mentioned you were supposed to pick him up from the airport today. Just what has this day been like for you? And take me through when you heard and when you heard that he had passed.
Right. I mean, I had woke up and Coach had called me and said, you know, Tim, don't worry about going to get Greg tomorrow. And I said, why? and he said, Greg had been involved in an accident. And my heart just dropped because I was supposed to pick my man up the next day. I had talked to him throughout the week, just telling him, man, get ready for the draft in 2017, just being excited. And God just put it on my heart to pray. And then while we was praying, we found out that he passed. And then as soon as we got done praying, we found out that he was still fighting for his life. And it just been a very up and down because it was the last day before he came home. Greg is supposed to be here today. We supposed to be getting excited about workouts in the morning, just going to coach him up with character, going to see what he's going to say to Coach Clark because Coach Clark was his guy. Just as that ESPN article said that Coach Clark gave a man the opportunity. This guy was living in a hotel. He was living in a hotel and only played in one school. But Coach Clark saw something in this young man that most people didn't see and gave him, and he bought into everything that Coach Clark said. So I've been hurting because Coach Clark is hurt because that was Coach Clark's guy. This guy, he was our only five-star recruit and did a lot of great things for UAB. So it's just been up and down. I'd be happy, then my heart is just dropped because I'm constantly thinking of Greg, but I'm constantly thinking of his mom. The only reason why is because I know how it feels for my mom who lost her son. And just to see that on this day when everybody's enjoying Mother's Day, Miss Bryant has got it hurt because she's lost her son on this day.
You mentioned there's going to be a point where the team's going to have to go back to workouts and they're going to have to hit the field for practices. How do you think that this loss is going to affect them?
It's going to affect, I believe that this loss is going to affect them mentally. But the great thing about us is our character excellent. We're going to meet them in that mental disabled point. We're going to be there with them and say, what, we understand you're hurt. But if Greg was here, what would he want you to do? He wouldn't want you to just hurt where now you start limiting yourself. He would want you to just take this hurt and say, man, let my name live on. Because that's every time Greg went and touched on that field, he would always write about Miami. Miami lives on. My family lives on. So that's what I believe that we'll share with the team is, don't just fall yourself short now because he's gone. Just let Greg live through you, and Greg's name will live on as long as we can continue, doing what's never been done before, playing through the hurt, playing through the pain, and just giving it all out for Greg, because now we have a reason to go out there and play each and every day.
What kind of motivation is that as you're a former player to have something bigger than a win and a loss and you're playing for someone else?
Right. I mean, as I told everybody today, this has nothing to do with Conference USA. This has nothing to do with football. This has something to do as a person. And now it goes in life that says, you know what, man, this young man, he came here with dreads. He cut his dreads 3.0. Doing great things, excited. So in this little time, he can turn his life around and do it all for the best, all because he bought in to what Coach Clark was saying. Then we could do that each and every day we wake up. Each and every day we wake up with a sense of urgency to breathe and to wake up. We got to go after life saying, you know what, I don't know how long I'm going to be here today, but as long as I get an opportunity to breathe and wake up and move, I'm going to make it the best. And that's what I think our motto's going to be, is just do what's never be done, but just fight through it all.